I call this meeting of your Newark City Council to order. Otto, please call the roll.
Mr. Frazier.
Here.
Ms. Hall. Here. Mr. Johnson.
Here.
Mr. Marmee.
Present.
Mr. Rath.
Here.
Mr. Willetta.
Here.
Mr. Blake.
Here.
Mr. Bubb.
Here.
Mr. Koss.
Here.
Mrs. Floyd. Here.
We have all here and present this evening. Next on the agenda, we have the invocation by Mr. Johnson, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. If you please rise.
Before we pray, will you take a moment for your own personal thoughts and prayers? Lord, we come again to you as humble servants, asking your blessing on this meeting. Be with us in all our deliberations. As we enter into the spring, we are thankful for a country that we live in, for the opportunity to be free in thought and deed. Be with those in need, give them hope and wisdom. Be with those who experience loss and those who have experienced good things in their life. Help us all to be grateful servants and to know your will. We pray in your name. Amen.
Please join me in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Next on the agenda, we have caucus. That's the time for council to discuss anything that might be pertinent to the agenda this evening. Do we have anything? Okay, we'll move on to the minutes of our council February 21st, 2017 meeting. A motion to approve those. Motion by Mr. Rath, second by Mr. Johnson. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. That passes. Thank you. Next, we have 4 reports from standing committees this evening. We have one from Finance, one from Service, one from Capital Improvement, and one from Personnel. Without objection, those will be received and filed. There are no reports from city officials this evening. Now we'll move on to communications. This evening we have a proclamation by Mayor Hall.
If we could move on to Roger Loomis, the mayor is correct.
Well, Mayor Hall will be back in a minute. Our next communications from Roger Loomis, our utility superintendent. Liens for past due water, sewer, and stormwater bills in the amount of $18,933.67. Without objection, that will be received and filed. Next on the agenda, we have Mayor Hall with a proclamation this evening.
Well, almost. I was going to take a picture, but that seemed very fitting, so let's see that. Come on back here. This is Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month, so in honor of that, I'd love to have a proclamation. Whereas people with developmental disabilities are residents of our community who live, work, and attend school in Lincoln County. As residents of Newark, they value what we all value: the opportunity to live a full life in the community where they live, work, and pursue their interests and outcomes. Side by side with their peers. As a community, it's important that we're aware of the unique experiences, perspectives, and abilities of all of our citizens. The best way to embrace this is to encourage openness and inclusion and eliminate barriers to participation so that all people can fully access our community and its resources. The Lincoln County Board of Developmental Disabilities is dedicated to supporting the efforts and opportunities to promote inclusion around Lincoln County. Now, therefore, I, Jeff Hall, Mayor of the great city of Newark, do hereby proclaim the month of March 2017 as Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month in Newark, Ohio, and voice my support of efforts to ensure people of all ages and abilities are side by side in our community. So, very good. Thank you.
Maybe I should have walked around.
You can stand up front here and talk to her.
Okay, that's fine. I just want to thank Mayor Hall. I want to thank Newark City Council. I want to thank the citizens of Newark as well. Your continued support of the Lincoln County Board of Developmental Disabilities is very valued. This is our 50th year serving the citizens of this great county who have developmental disabilities, and we wouldn't have come this far if it wasn't for the great citizens who continue to support us in our communities. So we appreciate this proclamation. We are going to be hanging this proclamation on some others in our hallway at our E.S. Wyant Center down on 22nd. So thank you very much. If you have any questions,
Which I just wanted to add, this is Jason Umstott, who replaced Nancy Neely. It's been a couple of years now. But
just a little over a year.
Just a little over a year now. as the superintendent, I believe is your title, correct?
Yes, sir.
DD, and works at the ES Wyant location up off 22nd Street. So appreciate you coming in this evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Next on the agenda, we have comments from citizens. There's two sections for comments from citizens. One is now and one is after the legislation. This is really not a debate with council. This is just your chance to be heard. Do we have anyone? Ma'am? You just step up over here for me and give us your name and address for the record. And go right ahead.
Hello, my name is Sandy Park, and I live at 15 South 3rd Street, Candlewick Commons. And I am one of 42 residents that lives at that address. My big I have just a complaint, actually. We have been dealing the last couple of summers with children ages 7, 8, all the way up to high school that are gathering around McDonald's, because McDonald's is right there at our building. And they are in front of our building, McDonald's building, and they are 20 to 30 of them sometimes at a time. And it's every day, after school, if the weather's nice, all summer long. Last year, I believe we called the police at least 50 times because they're running into our doors, they're trashing the place, they won't let us through. They literally knocked a resident down last year on the sidewalk with their bicycles. And they've come close to knocking a couple of them down so far this year. And I want to know if there's anything the city can do about these kids. I do know that last year, you guys all decorated downtown really beautiful with the big pots of flowers. There was 3 of them in front of McDonald's. Because the kids destroyed them, the pots were removed, but the kids are still there. And I'd like to know if there's anything the city can do to protect us.
Thank you, ma'am. We'll pass that along to the safety director. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else for this first section? Okay, moving on. Ordinances on the second reading, 17-05.
Ordinance 17-05 by Mr. Rath, Mr. Marmee, Mr. Koch, Mrs. Floyd, Mr. Johnson, and Mr. Frazier, an ordinance extending the authority of the Temporary Board of Zoning District Revision.
You've heard the second reading of 17-05. What is your wish?
Mr. President.
Mr. Rath?
I'd like to make a motion to adopt 17-05.
Motion by Mr. Rath, second by Mr. Frazier. Is there any discussion on 17-05? Seeing none, Autumn, please call the roll and vote.
Mr. Frazier?
Yes.
Ms. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Marmee?
Yes.
Mr. Rath?
Yes.
Mr. Roletta?
Yes.
Mr. Blake?
Yes.
Mr. Bub?
Yes.
Mr. Koss?
Yes.
And Mrs. Floyd?
Yes.
17-05 passes 10-0. Next on the second reading, we have 17-06.
Ordinance 17-06 by Mr. Cost, Mrs. Floyd, Mr. Rath, Mr. Johnson, and Mr. Frazier, an ordinance amending Chapter 618 of the Codified Ordinances of the City of Newark, Ohio, regarding the requirement that all dogs be leashed and under the reasonable control of some person.
You've heard the second reading of 17-06. What is your wish?
Mr. President,
Mr. Frazier?
wish to make a motion to adopt 1706.
Motion by Mr. Frazier, second by Mr. Cost. Do we have any discussion on 17-06? Mr. Frazier?
Mr. President, this legislation is ordered to clean up the leash law. It was accidentally, the penalties were removed. This is a housekeeping item in order to make sure that our books are correct.
Thank you, Mr. Frazier. Anyone else? Autumn, please call the roll and vote.
Mr. Frazier?
Yes.
Ms. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Marmee?
Yes.
Mr. Rath?
Yes.
Mr. Roletta?
Yes.
Mr. Blake?
Yes.
Mr. Bub?
Yes.
Mr. Koss?
Yes.
And Mrs. Floyd?
Yes.
17-06 passes 10-0. Next on the second reading, we have 17-07.
Ordinance 17-07 by Mrs. Floyd, Mr. Koss, Mr. Marmee, Mr. Rath, Mr. Johnson, an ordinance vacating a future street right-of-way as shown on the plat of the Village of Deer Run Phase 1 subdivision as recorded in Plat Book 14, page 218, 219 of the Licking County Plat records, straight right-of-way is located between 1407 and 1427 Misty Glen Drive.
You've heard the second reading of 17-07. What is your wish?
Mr. President.
Mrs. Floyd?
Make a motion to adopt 1707.
Motion by Mrs. Floyd. Second by Mr. Cost. Is there any discussion on 17-07?
Just that
Mrs. Floyd?
all the neighbors have signed off on this. The neighbors in the area have no problem with it, so.
Thank you, Mrs. Floyd. Anyone else? Autumn, please call the roll to vote.
Mr. Frazier?
Yes.
Ms. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Marmee?
Yes.
Mr. Rath?
Yes.
Mr. Roletta?
Yes.
Mr. Blake?
Yes.
Mr. Bub?
Yes.
Mr. Cost?
Yes.
And Mrs. Floyd?
Yes.
17-07 passes 10-0. Now we'll move on to ordinances on the first reading, 17-08.
Ordinance 17-08 by Mr. Rath, Mr. Cost, Mrs. Floyd, Mr. Johnson, and Mr. Marmee, an ordinance approving the editing and inclusion of certain ordinances and resolutions as part of the various component codes of the codified ordinances, providing for the adoption of new matter in the updated and revised codified ordinances, repealing ordinances and resolutions in conflict therewith, and declaring an emergency.
This is on the first reading, but it is an emergency, so what is your wish?
Mr. President,
Mr. Rath?
I'd like to make a motion to adopt 17-08.
Motion by Mr. Rath,
Second.
second by Mrs. Floyd. Is there any discussion on 17-08?
Mr. President.
Mr. Rath?
This is a housekeeping ordinance to bring our books up to date, and we're declaring an emergency simply to meet a timeline.
Thank you, Mr. Rath. Anyone else? Autumn, please call the roll to vote.
Mr. Frazier?
Yes.
Ms. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Marmee?
Yes.
Mr. Rath?
Yes.
Mr. Roletta?
Yes.
Mr. Blake?
Yes.
Mr. Bub?
Yes.
Mr. Cost?
Yes.
And Mrs. Floyd?
Yes.
17-08 passes 10-0. Next on the first reading, we have 17-09.
Ordinance 17-09 by Mr. Frazier, Mr. Cost, Mrs. Floyd, Mr. Johnson, Mr. Marmee, and Mr. Rath, an ordinance amending the position classification, pay range of the Income Tax Office by abolishing one revenue clerk and creating one revenue clerk 2 and setting compensation therefore and declaring an emergency.
17-09 is also on the first reading, but it is an emergency. What is your wish?
Mr. President,
Mr. Bub?
I'll move that we adopt 17-09.
Motion by Mr. Bub,
Second.
second by Mr. Marmee. Is there any discussion on 17-09? Seeing none, Autumn, please call the roll vote.
Mr. Frazier?
Yes.
Ms. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Marmee?
Yes.
Mr. Rath?
Yes.
Mr. Roletta?
Yes.
Mr. Blake?
Yes.
Mr. Bub?
Yes.
Mr. Cost?
Yes.
And Mrs. Floyd?
Yes.
17-09 passes 10-0. Next, we go to resolutions on the second reading, and that one is also 17-09.
Resolution 17-09 by Mr. Marmee, Mrs. Floyd, Mr. Cost, Mr. Rath, Mr. Johnson, and Mr. Frazier, a resolution authorizing and directing the mayor of the city of Newark to submit an application to the Ohio Department of Public Safety for an award of fiscal year 2017-2018 funding under the Ohio EMS Training and Equipment Grant Program.
You've heard the second reading of 17-09. What is your wish?
Mr. President,
Mr. Marmee?
make a motion to adopt Resolution 17-09.
Motion by Mr.
Second.
Marmee, second by Mr. Frazier. Is there any discussion on 17-09? Seeing none, Autumn, please call the roll to vote.
Mr. Frazier?
Yes.
Ms. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Marmee?
Yes.
Mr. Rath?
Yes.
Mr. Roletta?
Yes.
Mr. Blake?
Yes.
Mr. Bub?
Yes.
Mr. Cost?
Yes.
And Mrs. Floyd?
Yes.
17-09 passes 10-0. Next on the second reading, 17-10.
Resolution 17-10 by Mr. Johnson, Mr. Cost, Mrs. Floyd, Mr. Rath, and Mr. Frazier, a resolution authorizing and directing the Director of Public Service for the City of Newark, Ohio, to enter into a lease agreement with Park National Bank for the lease purchase of 2 dump trucks for the Streets and Traffic Control Division.
You've heard the second reading of 17-10. What is your wish?
Mr. President,
Mr.
I
Johnson?
move that we pass 1710.
Motion to adopt by Mr. Johnson. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Floyd. Is there any discussion on 17-10? Seeing none, Autumn, please call the roll to vote.
Mr. Frazier?
Yes.
Ms. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Marmee?
Yes.
Mr. Rath?
Yes.
Mr. Roletta?
Yes.
Mr. Blake?
Yes.
Mr. Bub?
Yes.
Mr. Cost?
Yes.
And Mrs. Floyd?
Yes.
17-10 passes 10-0. Finally, we move on to resolutions on the first reading, 17-11.
Resolution 17-11 by Mr. Marmee, Mr. Johnson, Mr. Cost, Mrs. Floyd, Mr. Rath, a resolution appropriating monies for the current expenses of the municipal corporation.
17-11 will be held 2 weeks for a second reading. Next, we go to 17-12.
Resolution 17-12 by Mr. Rath, Mr. Marmee, Mr. Cost, Mrs. Floyd, Mr. Johnson, and Mr. Frazier, a resolution authorizing and directing the Director of Public Service to accept bids and sell certain surplus personal property now owned by the City of Newark, Ohio, and declaring that such property is no longer needed for any municipal purpose and declaring an emergency.
17-12 is on the first reading, but it is an emergency. It's what as you wish.
Mr. President,
Mr. Rath.
I'd like to make a motion to adopt 17-12.
Motion by Mr. Rath, second by Mr. Frazier. Is there any discussion on 17-12?
Mr. President, we declared an emergency on this resolution to make required deadlines for advertising and sale.
This is for the property sale.
This is for the vehicle sale.
Yes.
Yeah, the auction.
Yes. Anyone else? Donna, please call the roll to vote.
Mr. Frazier?
Yes.
Ms. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Marmee?
Yes.
Mr. Rath?
Yes.
Mr. Roletta?
Yes.
Mr. Blake?
Yes.
Mr. Bub?
Yes.
Mr. Cost?
Yes.
And Mrs. Floyd?
Yes.
17-12 passes 10-0. And finally, this evening, we have 17-13.
Resolution 17-13 by Mr. Johnson, Mr. Cost, Mrs. Floyd, Mr. Frazier, Mr. Marmee, and Mr. Rath. A resolution authorizing and directing the Director of Public Service for the City of Newark, Ohio to enter into a lease agreement with Heartland Bank for the refurbishment and rehabilitation of one fire apparatus for the Division of Fire.
17-13 will be held for 2 weeks for a second reading. And that concludes our legislation tonight. Thank you for your attention. Okay. Once again, we have comments from citizens. This is our second opportunity for citizens' comments. Same rules apply. Again, this is not debate with council. This is just your opportunity to be heard. Do we have anyone else that would like to speak this evening?
Good evening, council members. My name is Greg Renda. I'm a resident in the, I believe it's in the 6th district. I live on Horns Hill, across from the Trout Club, and I am here to express some wonder about a sewer assessment project that has been proposed. I attended a February 8th meeting at the Trout Club where I was informed that there is a petition by development, Fairway Estates, to have a sewer project that would connect their neighborhood to a gravity flow system that would need to be constructed from, I believe, Earl Drive to I'm trying to remember this, Earl Drive to Welcome Drive. And this project was proposed and requested by the neighborhood to eliminate a lift station that neighborhood owns. I am one of the 28 residents along Horns Hill that would also be included in this project, even though the people along Horns Hill did not petition for this project. I am here to also say that I've conducted a survey of individuals that are on Horns Hill and found out that many of the residents who do not need their septic system replaced are in opposition to this project. And I do have some questions that I would like to answer. I know that this isn't necessarily the place that they'll be answered, but I do have some questions about this project is already listed as a construction project on the City of Newark's listed construction projects. I also have some questions about if this petition, if 75% of the individuals that are in this petition area, or the petition roll, I guess is what it's called, if 75% of the individuals do not agree to this project, I'm wondering if the city would move forward with this type of project in any way. I also am wondering if in general, if the city of Newark decides to expand city sewer systems, is that typically funded through a special assessment, or is that funded through the city's capital improvement budget? And then I have one other question. I do have questions about if a neighborhood owns a lift station and it's the property of that neighborhood, what is the process for the city to take over maintenance of that? And is there a process, or how does the city come about taking over maintenance of such a lift station? So that's what I wanted to comment on. Is there a possibility to have any questions answered? Or
No.
Okay. All right, that's what I thought. But I just wanted to bring that to the attention that there are 28 houses or properties that are in this sewer assessment project role. I was provided information by the city engineer. And again, there are about 18 or so individuals that are on Horns Hill that are in opposition to this project. I'd love to meet with the city engineer and other councilmen that are in that have property in the the Fairway Estates neighborhood to further discuss this and gather more information about this and to see an update on where this project and where the assessment lies. And that's it.
You can just stick around for a minute after the meeting.
Okay.
I'll chat with you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Anyone from the administration? Our auditor, Mr. Johnson.
I'll pass, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Honorable Law Director Sassen.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'll pass.
Mayor Hall.
Yeah, both citizens have questions. We can talk to you afterwards. There can't be back and forth exchange, just FYI. In council, it's just regs and rules in session. But we're happy to talk with you outside afterwards and try to answer some of your questions and set something up. So with that, I'll renew my good luck and goodwill to Newark High's basketball teams as they keep moving down the postseason. The girls won Saturday night, and we'll play tomorrow night, and the boys play Wednesday night. So we wish them the best of luck. The girls won district third time in a row now, so that's great stuff. So with that, I pass. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Hall. Mr. Frazier.
What am I going to talk about now since he took all Newark basketball?
See that?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go to Ms. Hall.
So, exciting things with the Newark High School basketball teams. Also, I'm very excited for the legislation we have before us, buying dump trucks, refurbishing fire vehicles, and cleaning up our books, and also having an auction for surplus goods. So, I want to say kudos to the administration and moving everything forward, and this council for trying to set appropriate priorities. So with that, I'll pass.
Thank you, Mr. Frazier. Ms. Hall.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'll pass.
Thank you, Ms. Hall. Mr. Johnson.
Well, I want to congratulate the Developmental Disability Group for 50 years of service to the community. I think that's absolutely outstanding. And with that, I'll pass.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. That's 2 years older than I am. Mr. Marvish. Don't even go there. Just a joke.
I need to call a Finance Committee meeting. I, too, want to echo my congratulations for the Division of Disabilities. As the council member of the board that Mr. Renda, I believe it is that correct?
Yes.
Spoke about. I will just give you some opinions and what the philosophy has been in the past. I'm not going to say that this is what the current administration's philosophy is, but it's always the goal of the city of Newark to have water and sewer in front of every single residence as far as within the city of Newark. Those are always done as an assessment. The only time there's any kind of special funding is if a development requires it. They have assisted with that as far as the overall cost of it. For example, when the schools needed water in that area, they assisted in making sure, it actually was the development of Mr. Craner's. He wanted that for his development, so he paid for a large portion of that. Still, citizens were assessed for that as far as because they needed to tap into it. you then have a tap available, so there is always a charge there because it is available to you. The reason why it is always a goal of the City of Newark to make sure that that is always available, in particular sewer, is because the EPA has strict mandates and rules, and actually there is probably not a septic system that's in compliance with the current standards. So therefore, anything that goes wrong with any kind of septic, they cannot fix that, or they're not supposed to have it pumped or do hardly anything to that. So it is our goal to make sure that that's available to all citizens. I do not know of any kind of a requirement or anything that has ever been done, a precedence, as far as that 75% of the individuals involved do not agree to that, because again, it is usually something that the city is trying to do for the betterment of the city. As far as the process for the maintenance of a lift station, that is already in place, and actually the City of Newark does assist in the maintenance of that lift station. That lift station was never intended or meant to be a permanent part of our system. It is just something that was considered a temporary fix because honestly lifts right over the hill and right into my neighborhood. So that was always supposed to be a temporary fix until a certain percentage of that area was developed, and it was always the intention to take it from Welcome down to Randy, and that was always the plan out there when that development moved out there. One of the reasons why it's kind of coming to fruition and it's being looked at seriously is because there's more development in that area that is hopefully going to occur. We also want to promote development in our area, and that lift station cannot support much more than what it currently has. That I don't know if that's the administration's final answer or anything. I'll just give you the philosophy out of my year's experience here on City Council. That's kind of been the philosophy of the city, is we always want to try to get anybody and everybody in the City of Newark on both water and sewer, because that is the responsibility of city government, is your infrastructure, and making sure that the safety of your citizens and the infrastructure is in place for all citizens. So, on another note, I want to kind of piggyback a little bit. I just want to say it's a great time of the year. The Wildcats are doing great. Both teams of basketball are doing great. Before we meet again, March Madness will have started, and baseball is about to begin. So all those three things are just three fabulous things that are happening, and it's a great time of year. And with that, I'll pass.
Doesn't get much better than that. Thank you, Mr. Rapp.
Thank you. Our Public Service Committee meeting and pass. Mr. Remote.
Thank you, all pass.
Mr. Remote. Mr. Blake.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just want to remark a little bit on Greg's comments. I've sort of been kind of in the loop in a little bit because I saw some email exchanges, and I know there's been some phone calling going on. I was aware of a meeting that a few members of council attended, that initial meeting that he referred to. But I guess my question is more related to the process. I mean, what is the process when we deal with these types of situations? Quickly after committees, one evening, Brian Moorhead gave me a quick to-do as to what the possible process is, but it doesn't seem as though, just make sure that we have a fair process for people, that when these situations come up, that it's being followed consistently. Either for the people that are in favor of it or people that are not in favor of it. I mean, just making sure that whatever the process is that it's clearly communicated to all parties involved. I know Brian's not here tonight, but I see Mr. Loomis is back there. I know he's been involved in those email exchanges, so hopefully Greg can get some information as to what is the process as to where we move forward with this. So I just want to echo that publicly for you. So with that, I'll pass. Thank you, Mr. President.
Mr. Blake. Mr. Rubb.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'll touch base, or I'll speak to your comments, Greg. I thought the meeting that night was very informative, and I thought Roger Loomis, Brian Moorhead were very clear in the project. I think to alleviate your concerns somewhat, the requesters of that petition have asked that that petition be reworked so residents such as yourself on Horns Hill Road won't be assessed unless you choose to tap onto the sewer. That is their belief and how they want to, I guess, continue on with the petition. So you wouldn't be mandated to do it, but you would have the option. With that being said, if you chose not to tap on at that point and say your septic went defunct in a couple years, you're hit with that one-time charge up front compared to how you can amortize it over 15 years now if the project were to go through. So that's where it stands now. To your question about capital improvements, no capital improvement money is used for that. That is done through the water department of our city. Mr. Loomis can bond money we have, and they get that back over tap-ons throughout the year. So I think that's where it stands now. I believe the residents who have petitioned for that sewer system on the public right-of-way have asked that folks on Horns Hill won't be mandated unless they want to choose to. They can tap on. So I think that probably alleviates a lot of your concerns. I'll speak to it in public so kind of everybody knows that, except we have some familiarity with that project. So I'll be glad to talk to you more about it. And, so hope that helps. So, okay. So with that, I'll pass. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bud. Mr. Cost?
Thank you, Mr. President. I'll pass.
Thank you, Mr. Cost. Mrs. Floyd?
Couple things going on this week. In the 7th Ward, there's a block watch meeting tomorrow night at the GMP Hall on Hudson Avenue. On Thursday, there's a Historic Hudson Community Association meeting at the GMP Hall, and our speaker is going to be Fred Ernest, who is the director of the CIC, the Newark Development Partners, and one of the things he's going to talk about is the group Newark Vision 2028, and while I'm mentioning that, I want to remind everybody again, and I'll do it one more time, in 2 weeks, is that there is going to be a community meeting March 22nd from 6 to 8 at 31 West to look at what the steering committee came up with and have some community input. This is a 6-month process, so this is just the beginning of it, but sort of doing the planning for what's going to happen in Newark 10, 20 years, in the next 10 to 20 years, which I think is very important. I too want to congratulate the Newark High boys and girls basketball teams. I've been watching basketball in Newark, Ohio since the 1950s when I was in high school, and then I watched them. I went to Ohio State when Jerry Lucas and that team was there, and I saw all the home games, and the next game I saw after that was a 9th grade Lincoln junior high school game. It was a little different than a college premier game, but I've seen lots and lots of teams. This year's teams are just amazing. They just do wonderful kinds of things. And finally, I want to mention, we all got emails today from the engineer's office about the bridge on Route 13 that will close traffic going up and down to the north end for a week, starting on Sunday night at 7 o'clock, March 19th, until Friday night, March 24th at 7 o'clock. And basically, if you want to go north or come south, you're going to have to use Cedar Street, 21st Street, side streets, but you can't use Hudson, you can't use Mount Vernon Road. They're going to tear out the bridge during those 5 days. And during that time, if you're heading east and west on the freeway, you're going to use the ramps to do it. If you're going west, you're going to get off at Hudson Avenue, across Mount Vernon Road and back on. If you're coming east, you're going to get off at Mount Vernon Road and get right back on. And so there can be no traffic going that way. Once the bridge is torn out in those 5 days, then there is a second map. This is on the city's website, so people can go to it, that basically shows, the bridge area will be closed, so you won't be able to come down Mount Vernon Road to get downtown, but you will be able to come down Mount Vernon Road, use the access road over to Hudson, and come downtown. So 5 days, we can handle 5 days, and then, and then you go back to your normal life. So it's going to be a little bit chaotic for a while. If they pave my driveway, I'll be real happy so I can get out on the street, period. But anyhow, and with that, I'll pass.
Do you want to go over that again?
No, it's on the website. Just go to the website, look at it.
All right, sounds good. Our next committee meeting will be next Monday at 5:30 here in this room. Our next full council meeting will be 2 weeks from tonight, March 20th at 7 o'clock, also here in this room. Thank you for coming. We appreciate your attendance and appreciate your input. Is there a motion to adjourn? Motion by Mr. Cost, second by Mr. Rath. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Thank you. We're adjourned.